All right, what's up, everybody? It's Jordan Feigenbaum, your dynamic fitness coach. We're going to try to do 365 days of what's going on in my brain. Now, I know this is only day one, so let's hope that I stay with it, but I'm busy. I still want to communicate with you guys and give you the latest and greatest material. So, yeah, right now, I'm walking to school, got class, got a lab. So what's on my mind today? I just got back from Philadelphia, and before that, DC, doing a lot of driving and listening to a lot of podcasts. Rob Wolf, and then Kiefer over there, Dangerously Hardcore, and some of the guys from Iron Radio. If you ever want to kill some time, go out there and check that stuff out. It's really good listening. So anyway, I got to thinking, what ties all these guys together? Everyone's got different ideas and different ways of skinning the cat. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, right? And it all comes down to compliance. And I think these guys, everyone's got a different way to get you to comply to their nutritional protocol, their training protocol, or whatever kind of thing that they're trying to push. And it's all about compliance. Guys like Lane Norton and other people that are more heavily involved in the bodybuilding scene, they're thinking, okay, well, you're going to count your macros. You need to talk about how much protein, how many carbohydrates, how much fat you're going to take in, and you're going to weigh and measure that stuff day in, day out, and we'll adjust as necessary to get you the results, which works fine if you'll actually do that. Other guys, Rob Wolf and some of the paleo folks are more like, hey, why don't you just cut out all the processed stuff and run with that for 30 days and see if you lose any weight. Now that you're not actually weighing or measuring, but what happens when you go low carb, you just spontaneously start eating less and less food. It's just another way to get to the same goal, less calories, losing weight, or, whatever you want to do. So like I said, it all comes down to compliance, and that's what, people want to pit certain people in the nutritional or training world against each other because, saying, oh, well, so-and-so says this, and this other person says that. Well, who's right? And the answer is both of them are right. It just depends where you are, what goals you have, and where you want to go. So my own take on this is you really have to be honest with yourself on where you're at in your current lifestyle. If you're one of the people who's kind of, likes numbers and likes to track everything and record everything and tweak each variable, you're probably going to be better off weighing and measuring and having a set macronutrient goal. And honestly, where you start out at is pretty arbitrary. How much protein, how many carbohydrates, how much fat you start out with isn't really going to matter so much as your adherence to the diet and then the tweaks that you make downstream. So, for instance, I generally like to start people at about, 2 or a gram and a half per pound of body weight, protein somewhere in there, and then 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight of carbohydrates, and then maybe a 1/4 gram per pound of body weight for fat. And like I said, it's kind of arbitrary. It just doesn't really matter where you start. It just matters how you respond to it, because everybody's different. Everybody does different activities throughout the day and different training and this, that, and the other. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter. A guy that on the forums that I like to talk to, he's, 100. He started out 194 pounds, and I told him to eat 275 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbohydrates, and 55 grams of fat. And I didn't really calculate any of this stuff out. I just thought, hey, that sounds like a good place to start. And coming off of an unweighed, unmeasured approach, and he wanted to lose some body fat, and yeah, he lost 10 pounds or so of almost pure body fat in 8 or 9 weeks, and the guy is starting to look really ripped. He's coming in nice for his powerlifting meet. Now, these aren't crazy results, but they're metered, they're measured, and I'm not trying to sell any bogus stuff. It's just, oh yeah, you ate better food, you measured what you were doing, and you got good results. Duh, right? So anyway, on the other hand, let's say you're someone who doesn't really have the time, the willpower, whatever. You absolutely will not put your food on a scale. You won't, measure how much sweet potato you're having or this, that, and the other. Okay, well, I'm probably going to have you do a more ketogenic approach. And the only reason for this is because I know that I can get you burning fat. This is primarily for fat loss. I know that I can get you burning fat on a ketogenic approach, and then calories aren't going to matter quite as much, especially if you've got some significant body fat to lose. So what this would look like, you'd wake up in the morning, you might skip breakfast, that's whatever, because you're already burning ketones. If you need something, coffee, that's cool. Have some coffee, put some heavy whipping cream in there. It's going to accelerate your ketone production, so you're burning a little bit more fat, kind of uptick that. Then right around 11, 12 o'clock, you're going to maybe have some lunch. Maybe it looks like some fish and and some greens and maybe some added olive oil or coconut oil. You can mix up a salad, tuna, with some spinach and olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette. But basically what you got to do is you just got to avoid sweeteners and sugars and stuff like that for the first 12 hours of the day or so, or at least until after you train. So optimally you would work out after work or after school or whatever, 3-4 o'clock, and then when you get home you're going to stick mostly low fat, moderate protein and moderate carbohydrates. So you're doing chicken and rice, this, that, and the other. And that's for someone who's sitting at about 20-25% body fat and not morbidly obese. You're morbidly obese, and you're not going to count. I'm telling you to go just straight ketogenic, and the only reason for that is it's the easiest lifestyle advice that I can give somebody who's already gotten to be morbidly obese. You don't get morbidly obese because you were inaccurately counting your calories. There's other stuff going on, and I can empathize with that. And so my deal is, I'd rather just say let's put them on a ketogenic diet, because I can tell them in 10 minutes how to do it, and they're probably going to lose a bunch of weight. And so I'm going to say, hey, get rid of artificial sweeteners, cut the sugar, cut all the processed stuff, stick to meat, vegetables, and then add, cook your stuff in coconut oil, and that's it. I mean, it's really not that hard. But the whole crux of this conversation, it isn't really to give out specific nutritional advice. It's basically to kind of clarify where I think all these people are coming from. It's all about compliance, especially with the nutritional thing. That's the most important deal. And so, when people are arguing on the internet over, well, this guy's diet is better and this guy's diet is better than that, it's like, well, what's better for you? What's going to allow you to actually do it? Because most of these nutritional protocols are actually pretty damn good. Paleo is good, carb backloading is good, carb night is good. The zone has the potential to be good if you do it on good quality foods. But this whole weighed and measured approach, when you have a specific macronutrient thing, that obviously works. Bodybuilders have been getting ripped, and powerlifters have been getting strong, and all these other athletes that have the mental kind of investment in their sport have been doing that for years and gotten really good results. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Figure out where you're at, what kind of buy-in, what level of buy-in you have for your that you're willing to give your nutrition, and then that's going to dictate what plan, what protocol you're going to follow. Like I said, if your buy-in is high, you're a competitive athlete, you're super geeked out on this stuff, maybe weighing, measuring, and tracking all your macronutrients is going to be good. And where you start at is arbitrary. You're just going to have to tweak from there, and I've got a couple blog posts up on that, so definitely check that out at thefitcoach.wordpress.com. You can check me out on my website, dynamicfitnesscoach.com. You can tweet at me at dfitnesscoach. That's all good. If your level of buy-in's low, you just want something, you want to get lean in a hurry, just go ketogenic, on a paleo style approach, good quality food, keep the carbs low. But if you're doing paleo and a keto style for like anything more than 4 weeks, you're doing it wrong, because honestly you should be dropping body fat quickly, and you shouldn't have to do it for that long unless you've got over 40 pounds of body fat to lose. So it's totally possible on a ketogenic diet to lose 20-25 pounds of body fat in a month. And it really does work that good if you do it right. If you're doing it wrong, then you're not really doing it, and so we can't talk about your results. But yeah, so that's it for today. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Follow me on this YouTube channel, or like I said, you can hit me up on Twitter or on the blog. All right, catch you guys later. Bye.